Hey guys, we're going to talk about how to use the calculator to do a box and whisker plot. Um, so we're going to look at exercise 1. It's going to talk about some of the data values, but before we do that, what we're going to do is use the calculator to input the data. So make sure you turn your calculator on, and then you're going to press the stat button, and press enter for edit, and then you should see L1 on the table. So I'm just going to go ahead and input those 16 numbers. So we got 2, 60, 66, 66, 68, now we got 80, 82, 84, 91, 92, 98. So it said there's 16 scores, which means that the next line would be 17. So you'll kind of see right here in the calculator, it says L117 over on this part. So what we're going to do now is we're going to push the stat button. Okay, so I'm going to push the stat button again. Then you're going to arrow over to the calc section. And then you're going to choose number 1, one variable stats. And then we go to calculate. Now a lot of the numbers here, like X bar is our mean, but for the box plot, the ones we need are down at the bottom. So let's use these numbers to kind of fill in the answers for A to D, and then we'll construct the box plot. So first one is median. So the median is the one in the table that says MED. So the median is 73.5. So that's the middle value, and it's right between the 73 and the 74 in the table. The next thing they want us to do is range, which we talked about in the previous assignment. And what you do is you take your max and you subtract the minimum values. So from the calculator, the max is 98, and we're going to subtract 52, which will end up giving us 46. And then for C, it's talking about the first quartile, Q1. So that's over on the calculator screen. Q1 is 67, which is going to be between the 66 and the 68. That represents the first 25% of the data. And then for part D, I'll move this over to the other side, they're asking about the third quartile, which in this case is going to be 83.
Class meeting right now in the cafeteria. There's a junior class meeting in the cafeteria.
And that will represent the 75th percentile, which would end up being between 82 and 84. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and erase these. And we're going to move down to example 2 at the bottom. And we're going to make the box plot. So we want to make sure that with our box plot, first thing you want to do is count the number of spaces. So counting across, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's 15 spaces. You want to try to use as many of them as you can. And you want to base the lowest number and highest numbers close to the min and max. So for this one, I'm going to start at 50. And I'm going to go up by 5s. And you don't have to label every one. You can if you want to label every other. That way it doesn't look as cluttered. The next thing you're going to do is put marks at each of those 5 values. So starting with the minimum, 52 is going to be between 50 and 55. 67 between 65 and 70. And 73.5 between 70 and 75, but a little closer to 75. Then same thing with 83. And then you got 98. So the box plot has a box encompassing the quartiles, Q1, the median, and Q3. And then they call them whiskers. Those attach the minimum value and the maximum value to the box plot. So the big difference with this is that it gives you numbers in terms of percentages. So each section from one to the other, there happens to be 25% of the data. So 25% of the numbers fall between 53 and 60, or 52 and 67. We have another 25% between 67 and 73.5. Okay. And then so on and so forth. And the last thing you want to do is you want to come up with some sort of title for the numbers. And in this case, based on what we have up here, it says the 16 students received scores on a math quiz. So writing something like scores and giving it a title. Let's say we'll call it math quiz results. So you want to have it labeled as to what it represents. Okay. I hope this helped. Then you can continue on try the one on the next page and work on the questions on the homework.